Why, hello, ladies and gents. Dick Clarkson here.
And I'm Clark Dixon.
And the year is 2020, known to some as the time of troubles, the age of outrage, and the year of queer events.
Well, that's slick, Dick.
Well, the world is getting a rough thrashing as everyone's dicks has fallen off, and you can't step outside without catching the plague or a pedophile. But there just may be hope yet, Clark.
How can hope exist, Dick, in these times of the most undapper experiences? What an undapper time indeed, an undapper time indeed.
Why, the Good Ole Gamers podcast, Clark.
The Good Ole Gamers podcast, two fine vegetables of masculine potentiality, gifted with their words of lore from Nintendo powers of yesteryear, an unmatched thirst for titties and chicken fingers.
That's right, Clark, the Good Ole Gamers podcast, traveling through time from the distant year of 2017 to save this forsaken future the only way they know how, playing video games and drinking beer. And without further ado, ladies and gents, we leave you to enjoy the show, and may God have mercy on your souls.
Well, this is weird.
Indeed. Indeed.
So we've been time traveling for approximately, it's August 25th, 2020, and we've been apparently in a fucking time loop since August 14th, 2017.
It's quite the experience, man. It is, it's good to be back.
It is weird, man. 3 years later.
Yeah.
And we're finally fucking doing episode 101.
How ominous.
It is
How
ominous.
coinky-dinkle.
It's just real odd. Kind of took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Starting out. Hey, I'm Lyle McClendon.
And I'm Brandon.
And
go fuck yourself.
There it is. There it is. We are the Good Ole Gamers podcast.
Yes, we are. Once again, here to bore you to death with minor tales of video games and beer drinking.
Yes. Yes. Which is odd because if you remember, our prior endeavors were usually pretty shit-housed. Mm-hmm. And we're working on a little chunk of sobriety tonight.
Yeah.
Because we're grown folks. Now, one thing that happened when you get stuck in a time warp is a lot of things happen. Apparently, I had all kinds of shit happen in 3 years that I didn't even remember happened.
Yeah, I watched myself live and die 20 times, and every time it was just as disappointing as the last. Just like my dad told me. One day you're going to die dead and alone, crying in the bathtub.
And, I mean, your father was correct.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess, do you have that one thing loaded where if I were to say anything we pretty much say in this next segment kind of falls in line with how we used to do shit?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, shit. Already fucking up.
Yeah.
If we're going to be pretty much catching up, it's all part of a news segment.
Oh, yeah.
So we might as well get it started off how we always do, with some news. Perhaps. It's literally like piloting a ship and then not driving it for 3 years and figuring out what button,
Yep.
I didn't mean to hit warp speed, God damn it.
Damn it, you ran over my dog at warp speed.
It died in all 17 dimensions. But yeah, 3 years.
Breaking news, we're back.
Yeah.
If you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're doing here if you haven't noticed.
It's the same old thing. We're just going to be bringing you new episodes, new tales of woe.
I heard a couple of douchebags that sounded like us started some other podcast.
Yeah, they were
2 douches, 1 card or something. I don't know. It was a failed experiment in streaming, from what I understand.
Yeah, it it was like one of the things. It's kind of like when Dukes of Hazzard brought the cousins in and didn't have Bo and Luke anymore.
Yeah,
that was we'll call them Randall and Bob. that works. But we news wise, we kind of lived out a scooting part, fucking whatever it would have been this year.
Yeah.
4,
the 3. Baconing this time, I think.
Yeah, man.
The panhandling.
Yes, dude. One thing that's always been a part of the Good Ole Gamers podcast since we started was the Southern Fried Game Room Expo. Mm-hmm. Well, due to the fact that we live in a Mad Max style apocalyptic world now after COVID,
It hasn't been all bad. I did get in my dune buggy and run down an old lady for her toilet paper. It's pretty sweet.
Pretty cool. I have a harem of 5 beautiful women at home that are getting ready to clean my feet and squirt titty milk on me as I get home.
Man, they're covered in horrific tumors, but so's everybody these days.
I mean, that's an unfortunate downside of radioactive fallout.
I mean, they're sexy tumors. Don't get me wrong.
You
got them in the right spots,
why enjoy 2 titties when you can have a girl that's got 15?
Yeah.
And some of them do have extra appendages, but it's more to love.
15 pus-filled weeping nipples. What's not to love?
Oh, a weeping nipple. That's not fucking frightening. But we got denied Southern Fried, as did everybody this year. We all got collectively a piece of that old dick pie together. Mm-hmm. So we decided to take a trip to Chattanooga to go to the Pinball Museum.
Yeah, we went on a pinball sabbatical, I guess you could say. We had to
Pretty
go to our
much.
mecca of pinball.
Yeah. And literally, it involved us going and getting intoxicated and playing pinball.
And getting harassed for money from hobos.
Holy shit. So we need to talk about this.
First of all, I'm going to disavow Five Guys.
Yeah, that's
fries
exactly what the fuck I was going in with. Five Guys, Chattanooga, y'all got which, I get to thinking though, was where, okay, long story short, Brandon got us a hotel room on the same block as the Pinball Museum.
Pretty sweet setup.
So around the corner, you walk down and around, between the Pinball Museum and the corner of the block is a glass blowing studio, a Japanese fusion sushi restaurant, which was fucking delicious, by the way. A glass blowing studio.
This looked neat, but we didn't partake.
And should have got me a smack pot done for all the smack.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's an idiot thing to say. Anyways, and then next door is Five Guys. All the fucking homeless people in Chattanooga hang out in front of Five Guys.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, don't fucking don't throw a trigger warning on me on fucking episode 101. Don't do that shit. But for real, man, like these people, I don't know, man. I can't say nothing because I personally know life can fuck your beehole real hard, real
true,
quick.
but
I
at the
get
same
that.
time,
But these people seemed, if you can sit here and play fucking Nirvana covers and like check your cell phone, like first off, I'm like, how in the fuck do you got a cell phone?
Well, my main problem wasn't so much just the hobos. Is like Five Guys was letting them operate off their tables, so they're always there.
Yeah,
and I don't know. I kind of understand, like, you're working at Five Guys, probably making minimum wage. Do you really want to fuck with hobos? No. But you can still call the cops. I mean, it's their job is to drive out and kill destitute black people. So this is what they do, I've heard.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah, I mean, and that's something I think that's pretty much everybody can can
Yeah.
attest to. Fuck the police department
Yeah.
to a degree.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but there's a good
I
chunk
only
of
fuck
them.
the dirty cops. They're all dirty cops.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But at the same time, like, what cracked me the fuck up the most about it was how the hobos will cut the other hobos for anybody else. There was this one hobo selling
the hobo
flowers.
war.
Yeah, he was selling flowers, and he's like, "You want to get your lady a flower?" And I'm like, "Yeah, my lady is dead." You know, I'm like, I lit her on fire. And, you know, just you tell him anything. You literally can say anything. And I was just like, honestly, though, I was like, no, thank you. And then this other fucking hobo comes out of left field, and he's like, he steals them off damn graves. They were all grave flowers.
And the whole time,
what the fuck?
I'm
Like,
thinking, like, are you pissed because he, like, stole your gig? Like, he moved into your territory? Like, what's up here?
this is my corner right here, man. Five Guys, my shit. It's my shit.
Before we left, I had the plan. I really wanted to, like, counter beg one of them. But the last one we encountered was, like, the guy who's saying he's a veteran. And I didn't want to take the chance of him actually being a veteran.
Yeah, like a Green Beret or something, just drop kicking.
Not
both
even
of us.
that. Like, I would just feel shitty, like, knowing that, you know, one of our vets was out there on the street and I shit on him verbally. So, I don't want that weight on my conscience on the way home. So, I pussed out.
I just didn't say nothing to him. Like, I've kind of, like, you know, that's one thing that's changed in the past few years is I've joined a fucking touring band now. And I've literally went out to places I've never been before and, like, big cities and shit, and, like, especially Texas. You just kind of got to get used to, like, fucking ignore them as hard as it is, because I've always been one of them people. I feel guilty. You know, and I'm like, well, shit, you know, maybe and I have helped them before when I've had it. But most of the time now, I do not carry fucking cash anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm just, you know, I hate it, but sorry, you know. And there's a good chance, like, some of those people that do panhandle and shit, probably you're just like your typical panhandler. They probably make pretty good.
Yeah.
Once it averages out, like, you at least got a $10 an hour job.
Their dealer makes pretty good.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. He's like, that's why I get them wound up on the smack. They sucking ding dongs for $10 bills. They suck 10 ding dongs. That's $10 bills.
But yeah, we went to a pinball museum. And
Well, I mean, shit, you know.
it's pretty nice.
Life's
though.
rough right now.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes you just gotta take one in the mouth.
Speaking of taking one in the mouth, I had Hercules. I took that one in the mouth. So did you. As a Herculean
Yeah,
cock.
buddy, it was mighty letting it all hang out.
It was Hercules, wasn't it?
Yes.
The big one.
I've never seen a fucking pinball machine that size.
Yeah,
Nor do I ever really want to see one that size again. You know?
Yeah, I felt inadequate.
Yeah, I felt like not up to par. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A dick withdrew up in my body 6 inches, and I was already at 3. So
That's like one of. I feel like you have to have an energy drink made out of fucking bull testosterone, bull semen, and fucking crystal meth. Like an energy drink that you literally have to fucking.
I'm gonna bring up a little.
You just have to consume to play that fucking game because it's so manly.
I'm gonna describe it. I'm pulling up a little bit of info on it, just so.
The Rock just fucking shows up and tells you you're not man enough to play this shit. He's like,
Yeah.
fuck off, pussy. Just punches you in the face.
So for anyone who hasn't seen this thing, and not many people have, I'm sure, because it is a rarity.
Yes.
It is a massive pinball machine. It is. It was made in. Designed in 1976, released in 1979. It used a pull ball as the pinball.
You'd believe it, man. That ball gets some serious fucking hang time.
Yeah.
If you actually
is
manage
playing
to work
slow-mo.
it way up to the top of the board.
Trying to find any fucking dimensions on this thing. No one's listing anything. This thing, it's at least a good 4.5 feet across, probably. I'm thinking
It's
4 feet.
fucking, yeah, it gotta be.
That's the width, not the length. It's got some girth, baby.
Yeah, buddy. It's tiny, but it's mighty. It's about like a Coke can. Don't listen to me. It's bigger than a Coke can. Dude, I don't even know anybody that would have a house big enough to put that fucking thing in.
Okay, it is 3 feet wide, 7 feet tall, 8 feet deep.
Whew.
It is the biggest production pinball machine ever made. And it is an Atari pinball machine. That. Atari. Back when they were the thing. It was gnarly.
Definitely.
I wouldn't say it was fun, but it was an experience.
It took its own token, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, they had that set up because they didn't want people beating the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Because you can't just buy the shit for that anywhere. You're not going to get on a pinball website and just buy replacement parts for it.
They had some weird shit, though. Like, one I played I really liked was called Orbiter.
Yeah. That thing, I loved it and I hated it.
It's the mechanics of it is just so hard to get used to.
It was, I think, a couple of the things that really throws it off to describe it. It looks like the moon's landscape on it.
Yeah, it's very full of divots and hilly.
But what really
looking.
throws you off though is it's got the base playfield, which looks rocky and bumpy, but it's got a thicker clear coat on top
overlay
that is not the same as the underneath, so it doesn't act like you would think it would
literally
act.
has there's 2 sets of trigger activated things on the side, and then the thing where you hit it and it spells out Orbiter on the back panel.
And it uses some magnets, don't it?
It's got 2 magnetic little round things in the middle of it that just grabs the ball and
gives it a little zizz wheel.
Yeah, puts that zizz wheel on it. And it's like getting fingered by Satan in your nightmares. It's fun.
It is infuriating.
But it's very infuriating.
Because
not saying Satan fingering your ass in your sleep's fun, but
because you'll think it's coming right to your flipper, then it just does the loop-de-loop. It'll go under, it'll go through the middle, around the outlane, and back through the middle.
That's
sometimes.
part of the mechanic, though, because the hole is dead in the center in the middle of the 2 flippers.
Yeah.
So when it gets to spinning and throwing that ball around, there's at certain times you literally can just hold one side of the flipper up and it'll swing back up into the play field.
Ah, okay.
I figured that out that last time, but man, it's so fucking hard, though. But it was fun. I ended up spending a lot of time on that one.
Yeah, we saw a few like that we hadn't seen at Southern Fried.
Haunted House, I think, was the one.
Was that the lower playfield one?
Had the lower and the upper playfield.
Yeah.
That was fucking
that was
great.
Neat. I was garbage at it, but it was nice.
That would be one I'd like to own.
My favorite they had there, besides the 2-player one we'll talk about in a minute, was the Dungeons and Dragons one. I haven't played that one yet. I put some time in on that one. It's got a lot of neat mechanics, but what really gets you is it has a couple of ball save mechanics. Well, not really ball save. It's don't get fucked over mechanics.
Yeah.
It's got a couple little metal flaps down by where the outlanes normally are, and if you can press an extra flipper, not really flipper button, another button by the flipper to bring those metal flaps up to stop it from going in the outlane. So you got to juggle that with normal pinball fuckery. It's pretty hectic, and plenty of gadgets and shit.
It's got an
upper
upper playfield too, doesn't it?
Not really. It had
or a separate one or something.
It has a bunch of other shit up top, but it's not really upper playfield.
I got you.
And it's got all kinds of teleporters and multi-ball, all kinds of nice shit. And the goal seemed to be, because the theme of the game is you're fighting a dragon, and the dragon's breath would. The more dragon's breath you blocked by hitting targets and shit, the more you'd see the dragon's breath meter grow, and eventually you'd have to restore your shield, or there's a shield and I don't know, magic or something like that you restore. Basically resets the dragon's breath so you can run it for scores again. Seems to be one of the primary ways of you actually scoring. And beyond that, it's got jackpot targets. I think you have to get the teleporters 3 times in a row to get the 1 million point jackpot. It's a pretty low scoring game compared to the most. I think my highest was around 600,000, and their high score is 1.2 million, I want to say.
My God.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I got my numbers mixed up there, but yeah, it's pretty low overall scoring game. But the one we played the most together was it Grand Slam?
I think so.
I'll look it up.
It's a fucking baseball themed pinball.
And they had that at Southern Fried last year. We just passed by it.
Me and Brandon ended up logging like some serious time on this because it's how many other just straight up head to head 2-player pinball games do you know of? You know, like
yeah, there's not many. Do you remember who made that one?
fuck.
I think
No.
I think I found a picture of it. Slugfest, that's the name of it.
Slugfest.
By Williams. It is not an actual. Why not even call it a pinball game? Because it's not anything like another one except it uses a pinball and a flipper. So it's got a set up like a baseball field, except you got one flipper in the middle, which is the batter.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got a launcher in the middle, which is the pitcher. And behind that is all the outfielders and shit. And they light up in certain ways where you want to hit certain ones to get guys on your base.
Yeah.
And the bases light up to show you who's where.
It's like you get single, double, triple.
Yeah. And, usually after the first couple pitches, like half the dudes or more in the outfield are outs.
Yeah.
Which sucks. And you kind of start getting a feeling of what pitches to throw because you notice some of the pitches tend to favor one side or the other.
Yeah. Like I think it was screwball and changeup made it veer more to the right, but fastball, if
could
the
get
ramp,
home run.
Yeah, when the ramp goes up to hit home runs, because you literally have to launch the pinball up into the stands, the upper deck, and you launch that fucker up in there though. Like you want a fastball when that ramp goes up, but I noticed you started figuring out every time I get the ramp, butt fucker over here would throw me like a change up or curveball. Curveball was the other one.
Yeah, the curveball went to the left, didn't it?
Yeah, the curveball and fastball veered more to the left, and the change up and the screwball went more to the right.
Yeah.
Batting ain't jack shit. You can steal bases like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
and
you
that
can.
ends up
It is a
being like,
button mashing contest.
dude. And I'm talking, you end up beating. I kind of felt guilty a couple times because I knew we were beating the hell out of those buttons.
We were, but I mean, you kind of got to expect it on that kind of machine.
Yeah.
I imagine those buttons, the base steal and the throw out buttons, get replaced a lot.
And that was a super small. It looked like it had a thing rigged up on it where it would spit out baseball cards.
Yeah, I think it used to do that.
I would love to find one of those to have, man.
It was nice. And you'd go all 9 innings on it if you fed it enough credits, which is free play. So, of course, we went all 9. Lyle ended up being the baseball champion. He got 2 out of 3 in our 2-player games. We started off just taking turns. Then we realized, holy shit, you can play play at the same time as each other.
I'm like the fucking Daryl Strawberry of fucking Williams Slugfest. I took all my earnings and went outside and smoked crack with
Hell
it.
yeah.
And chased some loose women in some hotel rooms.
One thing I kind of didn't like about it is when you hit your home run, it was almost a 50-50 shot if it went in the stands or if it just like hit the top glass and bounced around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you're the only one. You hit a fucking grand slam.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Because that one time when you did beat me, let's face it, folks, this motherfucker beat me like I owed him money.
That first one was a pretty big landslide.
Blew my fucking kneecaps out. Made my lips sore.
God, that was such a nice game. I hope they have that at the next Southern Fried because I want to put some more time on it.
I really dug the little bitty, like, fucking octagon-shaped cruise ship. The 80s cruise pinball.
Yes,
that was really
it was
fucking
a cocktail
cool.
cabinet.
Meant for home use, like a sit-down. That shit was fun.
I enjoyed it, too,
cool.
because we were standing up all day, so you know what? I'm going to sit down and play goddamn pinball.
Well, you showed me, too, the how easy it was to just keep getting fucking multi-ball.
Yeah,
you could keep throwing
There's
that
a loop
ball
there.
up in the top corner. And once you figure that mechanic out, man, you could, if you were to have to put coins in that fucker, you could ride for quite a while on a...
And the upper right of it, there was like a little pocket, I guess you call it like a pocket playfield. It wasn't separate, but it was almost separate because of all the obstacles. And there's a little... I don't even know what you call it, a little divot that the ball lands in.
Yeah.
And right beside it is a flipper that can just make it loop around back into that pocket. So you can just keep looping that shit around.
Let me find out what year this one come out before I just go out and say what I'm about to say, because somebody will probably correct me. And I want to be correct because
actually, because I have the advantage of Wikipedia at my fingertips, same as it came out in 1972.
yeah. Okay. It is the 1979 one. So I did play 1979 Kiss pinball, and guess what? It sucked just like the goddamn band does.
Yep.
Kiss is awful. Sorry, not sorry. But it was crap. Now, there was an older casino game. Did you play it that had the roulette table in the middle of it? That was actually kind of cool.
Pretty gnarly.
That was a neat little older mechanic one.
Mm-hmm. I got to play the Revenge from Mars for the first time, the Pinball 2000 layout.
Yes.
With a reflection digital kind of integration.
It's fucking fun.
It is. I think I like the original better, but that one, I'll say it this way. I like all the doodads of the original better. I think if I were to own one, I think I would get more time out of Revenge because there's just more the mechanics more in depth.
Yeah.
The originals hit the saucer in the middle over and over and over, then hit some of the shaking aliens having Caesars on the side.
Yeah.
But I really dug the reflection mechanic. That has like a CRT above the playfield, so that CRT reflects off the glass, and it makes it really cool. Everything's lined up perfectly with the playfield. So
hardcore interactive.
Yeah. So like one part of it that you get pretty easy early in the pinball game is you got to shoot these aliens drinking at the bar. So they show up from the CRT and they line up perfectly with the targets in the machine. So you hit the target and the alien does a little ziz wheel and flies off in the air. They're drinking like kerosene and oil and shit.
Okay, that is the name of the one. There was one I really liked called The Getaway. High Speed 2.
You tore that thing up.
Dude, I won a bunch of fucking free play games off of that, which they're all free play, but like it had like a thing where you sling it up and it's like a fucking track for the pinball, and it would just sit there and start slingshotting around this track up top that was motorized. And I'm talking, get this pinball going fast, and every time you go around the track, you get 1,000,000 points. And I got to where I could reflex shot that motherfucker up in there and just keep doing that. And I think I ended up with like fucking 249 million on one ball at one point. And I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. I never do this good. They didn't really have hardly any new ones. The fucking Domino's pizza one was weird.
Yeah, I wasn't very impressed with it.
I thought it was cool how it had the fucking Noid in it.
The Noid, yeah. That's the only thing that really interested me about it.
Now, I will say the Super Mario World pinball, I liked it a little bit better because the one they had at Southern Fried wasn't functioning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't quite right.
That one, like the little warp zones and shit on it actually worked, and it was cool.
Yeah.
I dug it. I still wouldn't pay whatever one of those cost.
That trip decided that my next pinball machine is going to be Dungeons & Dragons. It's not an expensive machine. I think it's $200 to $2,500.
Ain't bad.
But the issue is just finding them. It's one of those things that's hard to find, but not expensive.
Yeah.
There's just not many that pop up locally. I'm sure if I wanted to get online and pay fucking $900 to ship the cocksucker, I could get it. But I just have to wait and see if something pops up locally when I get the extra cash in my pocket, you know.
Yeah. I'm still looking. I'm about to build me a new cabinet, though. That's something I've put some money back for here recently, and it's kind of waiting on the right one to come along.
Isn't it something else that I never got to talk about because it's been 3 years.
We've been stuck in a parallel universe.
But also in the meantime, the modern marvels of the future. There is LCD light guns coming out, and I got some ordered. And they'll be here sometime in October, supposedly. I'm gonna mount them cocksuckers on my machine. And we're gonna get some Area 51 and some Time Crisis, and I want to get the House of the Dead overkill on it.
Oh, that's dope. Too many motherfucking zombies up in this motherfucking house.
What's up with all these motherfucking birds? It's like that bird movie with all those birds. I love
that. Which makes me think just randomly somebody on the Chattanooga, that side that sells all the ones up north you got to get in like Smyrna, Tennessee or wherever. They got a fucking House of the Dead 3 dedicated cab for $1,000 right now, and I'm like,
oh, that's nice.
That's tempted. I just Did my lid roll over there?
Yep.
Thank you. Off
But
my
yeah, I've seen
blue cream soda
since
wine.
I ordered those. I've seen a few cabs come up. Some of them cheaper than my goddamn guns I ordered. But the guns, I'm gonna have multiples. You know.
Yeah.
It's I'm gonna have just about every light gun game I want, and it's gonna be in one cabinet.
And I'm officially going to live in your fucking living
Hell
room.
yeah.
I'm going to shit in your toilet and eat out of your fridge and play all your video games.
Hell yeah. My next two ventures, eventually, once I get past buying some cars and shit, are going to be D&D pinball, and I want to make me a driving cabinet.
Yes.
So I can get some good cruising USA and bullshit
Yeah, I
going.
just want to come over here and run over all your virtual deer.
Yeah.
Speaking of running over a deer,
Oh,
something
and
else.
I want to mention the light guns. Just for anybody who's interested in it, send in light guns. They are on Indiegogo right now is how you can order some. It was a Kickstarter thing, but he does all his orders on Indiegogo.
They're called Send In Light Guns.
Yeah. SINDEN.
I'm making notes how I used to do of every show. That way, if I ever want to come back and reference anything.
And it's pretty legit. Like, I'm pretty sure he said he's got a deal with Arcade 1-Up because they're coming out with a big buck hunter game, and it's using his shit. The way that shit, his works, it's not like the Wii remote shit. Because fuck that. Those have been out forever. I can't think of the name of the company. There's some guy who makes arcade parts. I use one of his joysticks. That's amazing. But he also has like Wii-based light guns, and they suck because they're Wii-based.
Yeah.
But these do is they have a camera on them, and the software puts a very thin white border across your game, like all around the game, and it uses that to reference itself and be able to tell where the squares are, basically, when you shoot. So I'm not sure all the specifics. I know that's how it works. So you got to have a thin white border around your games, but it looks pretty sweet. Every video I've seen, it looks like it plays like a arcade or NES duck hunt type shit. And he's getting it to where it works like with original systems too.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah.
So it'd be like.
Yeah, once he gets all that shit worked out, you'll be able to just play duck hunt on your LED in the living room. That'd be pretty sweet.
That would be fucking dope.
Yeah.
That's like a modern problem that is solved too, because that's something we've been,
I love light guns so
3
much.
years ago when we were both building MAME cabinets. We were
Yeah.
talking about how you ain't never gonna be able to
Back then, I was like, I think I'm going to get me a CRT cabinet and find some kind of light guns that work with it. So now that problem's solved. I think I've paid somewhere in the $380 range for these. It's 2 light guns with recoil packs and holsters for the cabinet. And they're USB, works with Windows, and I think he's making them for Raspberry Pi and shit too. So you'll be able to play it on just about anything.
That is fucking dope.
I'm pumped. Just a couple months away. I need to get my shit set up so I can just almost plug and play it.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, just build me a little cot over in the corner, and
Yeah.
I'll just move on in.
Hell yeah.
I know. Talking about fucking Chattanooga. We got meat sweats while we were there.
Rodizio. Heaven. That
Come
is.
on into the Rodizio.
If I had to describe it to anybody,
Brandon doesn't even believe in heaven.
I know, and it was. When I was in the bathroom in there, I heard the perfect description. I was taking a leak in the urinal, and there was a black dude in there. He was talking on speakerphone with somebody. He said, they even got lamb here. And the lady on the phone's like, well, how does it all taste? He's like, man, it's like eating a fucking zoo. I was like, hell yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It is,
I was
man.
eating a zoo there.
It's kind of works like what's that place we have local, Texas to Brazil or whatever.
Yeah.
It works like that, but you pay, what was it, $35 a person, I think. You pay, and you go and sit down, and they just bring you this fucking, like, treasure scroll of sides that you can just mark whatever I want. I'm like, oh, I want this and that and this. And they bring you all these fucking sides at once. And you can put, like, ×2 on there, and they'll bring you 2 of them. All you want, them bread. Well, you got this. Excuse me. You got this little block that's one side's green, one side's red. Flip the green side up, and they will not stop bringing you meat.
It is awesome.
You end up looking like every 20-year-old girl on a couch trying to break into the movie industry.
Yeah.
By everything that walks by, they're like, "Can I shave some of this meat off into you? Can I shave some of this meat off into you?"
Hell yeah.
So many types of fucking steaks, prime rib. The fish was fucking incredible.
Fish was great. Chicken was great. All of it was fucking great. Man.
Literal meat sweats.
And we didn't fall very much for the side trap, because that's what it is. The side items are a trap.
Oh, yeah.
We knew that. We saw through that ruse.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to fill us up on bread.
I know I've lost a lot of weight in Time Warp, but I can tell you this. If you go to a buffet and you start eating all the sides, especially the starchy filling sides, then my friend, the battle is already fucking lost. Like,
Why do you think you go to, say, Golden Corral and they bring you rolls?
Dude, I literally felt like an episode of The Simpsons when we were sitting there eating all that. There's this one episode of The Simpsons where Homer enters a steak eating contest or something, and he's like eating a steak against this fucking truck driver that's won this competition for like the past 6 years. And they go to eat their steak, and Homer just eviscerates the steak. They look over, and this guy still just sat there at his plate smiling. And nobody, eyes wide open, Dr. Hibbert or whatever, the black doctor comes up and goes, "Ooh, this man's dead." And that's exactly what the fuck I felt like sitting in the Rodizio grill. I thought I was about to slip away into a place of Rhodesia.
It got to a point where I'm like, I'm hurting, but god damn it, this looks good.
Rhodesio, it makes you think of something. It's almost like too close to the word aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
Like, we ate so much meat, we slipped into a ecstasy of Rhodesia. You know?
We packed ourselves full of meat, and then we went and smoked some cigars, and it was righteous.
Oh, so this is not video game related, but let's talk about these sodas.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about this
Soda.
soda. If they'd only had a fucking meatloaf flavored soda.
They probably did. There's so many flavors.
I didn't spend that much time. I kind of may have been offended at a meatloaf soda. I'm like, wait a goddamn minute.
Yeah, there's a little shop called Rocket Fizz, I want to say. Mostly soda and candy.
It's a candy shop. They had some fucking... The craziest collection of craft sodas I've ever seen.
I like they had like the whole terrorist series.
Yeah, literally.
There's like Osama bin Laden and Kim Jong-un.
Osama bin Laden blueberry. Like Kim Jong-un impression grape.
Starvation flavor.
Oh, God. Well, I can tell you I would thirst to death if I had to drink a couple of the sodas that we purchased.
Unless it was the corn.
Now, sweet corn soda, let me motherfucking tell you, that shit was divine. And I guess it's because we're southern as fuck. Dude, it tasted like eating a fucking ear of sweet corn. I'm like, I could fucking get down on this. It's weird. Like, I have a feeling that shit would be real popular in Japan or something.
Yeah.
Some country somewhere is like, oh, they're fucking crazy American.
Yeah. See, we also had
fucking delicious.
Butter and maple bacon. Those were not that good.
Butter was the most.
It's worst. It smelled just like butter, though.
It tasted just like fucking shitty margarine, too.
Yeah.
It's like, you open it and Fabio's like, I can't believe it's not butter because it's fucking not.
See, after we drank the corn, I regretted not having some left to mix with the butter.
Yeah, no shit. The bacon maple, anything that's, it's just common knowledge. Anything that's fake bacon flavored has got that Bacos.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love me some motherfucking Bacos.
Yeah.
But not in a liquid soda form with fucking maple syrup mixed in with it. It was pretty awful. My drunk ass, too. I drank a whole bottle of Screwball one night, and I woke up that one morning, I had that nosebleed. I pounded the fuck out of that. I was so thirsty when I woke up. I was like...
Did you say it was that licorice flavored or something?
It's strawberry licorice.
Yeah.
And it was pretty... yeah, not... It tastes like a fucking... kind of like a Twizzler.
Okay.
But, I mean, I pounded the shit out of it just because I was dying of thirst.
Yeah.
I got out of that bed in that hotel room and was like, I hate my life. I can feel like Clint Eastwood getting out of bed. Is fucking, that was gross. I was really, you bought a taffy that had fucking gummy bears in it.
That was delicious.
That was fucking wonderful.
I brought that whole bag home and most of it got eaten in a few days and not by me. The kids and old lady tore that shit up.
That's pretty much all we did, though.
Yeah. Played a bunch of fucking pinball there.
Got a sushi bowl. That was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
It's pretty nice.
It was okay.
Lost some money on lottery tickets, but, you know, hey, it's what you do.
Yeah.
I regretted quitting my job, but, you know, I thought it was a wise financial decision at the time. Because I went in there, I was like, give me the winning lottery tickets. I was like, no motherfuckers thought of that.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I just got promoted at my job, and I went in, and I was like, now I start my own factory.
Just shit on my boss's desk and said, I'm rich. I'm just waiting on this lotto draw here.
They're like,
guaranteed.
Oh, yeah? How's that going to work for you? Well, I'm looking for a job, but I thought it would work in theory.
I mean, it seemed like a sound investment.
I prayed about it. Yeah. All right. I asked for 100,000 thoughts and prayers.
I got 3.
You know, this would have worked if all you bastards would have liked and shared it.
I got me something up there I want to talk about too, that I'm probably going to be talking about some more of these in the future. I got me a board game, XCOM, the board game. I'm going to grab it out here. Give me just a sec.
You did it.
It is probably the most intense board game I've ever played. And
really?
It's hard to describe a board game as intense. XCOM is fucking intense.
The way you described it, I just imagine that family. Is it fucking RoboCop or RoboCop 2? It's like nuke them. And they press that button and it just makes that mushroom cloud in the middle of the table. The kids are like, yeah! You're like, the only other time in my fucking life like I've ever heard thrilling excitement. Board game. Wow.
It is intense, dude. I'm not lying. For anyone who's unfamiliar with XCOM as a whole, it is a tactical, like, stop an alien invasion game.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I assumed this was going to be like take your squads and clear out rooms of aliens and things, kind of like the video game mostly is. But this is more of the other half of the video game where you're like commanding all your troops on a global level, and you're deciding what projects you're doing, what missions you're taking. So this is one of the few board games that requires an app to run. You have an app on your phone, and everything you do has a fucking timer on it.
Oh, shit.
So you got to be quick. That's what makes it so intense. There's 4 different roles, and you assign it to each player. And it's 1 to 4 players. So I played it by myself a couple times, which is fucking
Oh, so
hard.
You can play it by yourself.
You can. It's hard. You pretty much can't use the timers. You got to turn it on easy mode so you can pause it every time a timer comes up. But yeah, the 4 roles are like commander, scientist, squad leader, and chief officer. The roles are divvied up in different ways, but the squad leader directs where the troops go, does all their combat and missions. The chief officer is one who does the app. He relays all the information from the app. He puts UFOs on the board when they spawn. The app tells you where they spawn.
They're kind of like the DM.
Kind of, except they're not working against you. They're working with you. Scientist decides what tech you're researching. And scientist is probably the most laid-back role. It has the lowest risk on failure. And the commander probably is the most important role, has the most things to do. He balances the budget, which is extremely important. Every turn you got a budget, and if you go over budget, you're fucked. He defends the globe from UFOs using interceptors or planes, and a couple other minor things. But it's fucking intense, man. It's hard to make all the decisions you got to make with that 20-second timer going, or sometimes it's like you got 10 seconds to go. So you got to be quick. There are repercussions on difficulties above easy if you go over the timer. Even easy, fucking me and Buddy Mohill and Toby lost the tutorial. We died on the tutorial.
Fuck me.
It's a hard fucking game. Every time I've ever won it, it has been like we're going all in this turn because next turn we're fucked. So you're basically balancing the panic levels of the globe. All these countries are like contributing to the XCOM project that they're throwing in their Bucko 5 for alien freedom. And if they panic, they pull out. And
that's a good strategy. The pull-out strategy saved me for some keen pickles in my life.
Well, just like when you pull out, you're not supporting the bitch with any money. You're not doing that child support, So you want them to stay in so you get that child support.
Because every girl always wanted to grow up to be knocked up by some dude whose favorite band's U2.
Yeah, everyone wants to be a dirty whore. But
what
yeah,
a dream to have.
If a country is getting to panic levels, they stop contributing money, which means you don't have your budget to defend the globe with, which means more countries panic, which means less money, which means you lose.
Womp, womp, womp. Goddamn, that sounded like a quick rundown of 2020 in a nutshell right there.
Yeah, it's the basics. There's a lot of dice rolling in the game. The basics of it are you have these blue dice, and the amount of them you roll depends on basically how many resources you put towards the task. So there are D6s, 6 out of dice, and I think there's 2 successes on sides and 4 just nothing sides on them. And there's a D8 that's like the danger dice, basically, the threat dice. Every time you try something, if you fail, the threat goes up by 1. It starts at 1, maxes out at 5. If you rolled that D8 equals or is less than the threat level, everything that's trying to do that task dies.
Jesus.
So and it can happen. You can roll a 1 on that thing in your first roll, and your squad's wiped out. Your planes are dead.
Well, excuse me while I go funnel roofing tax down into my dickhead. Like shit.
And I just bought the expansion. I haven't got to play yet, which makes it even harder. So, yeah, there's certain things that happen that change that D8 into a D6, which is really cocktastic. But it's just like the video game, man. The video game's unforgiving. I've never missed so many 99% chance shots in my life as in the video game.
Fuck.
It
sounds scary. It sounds intimidating.
It kind of is, but it's awesome. It's probably my favorite board game right now.
Invite me over on game night.
Hey, any Wednesday, man, come over.
I got that last Friday too. We still need to try that.
I got some other ones I could talk about, but I'm going to wait till future episodes. I just got this Godzilla game off the internet that I'm pretty pumped about. I haven't played it yet.
The only thing I was looking at is...
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's made by Funko. But it looks pretty legit.
Hey, you know what? Fucking everybody hates fucking... Whoa.
The art is pretty gnarly.
That is fucking bitching.
Yeah.
That's like a tattoo sleeve art right there.
Yeah. The figures in it look like almost like action figures you'd buy.
Really?
It's not just your typical like gray miniatures. They are, I mean, you can see them right there. They're pretty
incredible.
good detail.
That's cool as shit.
But I'll talk about it probably next time because I'll have played it by then. I
got a date tomorrow night, but next Wednesday night I might hit you up. I might bring that last Friday over.
Do it, man. And we'll talk about it on here. There's no game more retro than board games.
This is true.
I mean, chess.
We're never gonna.
We ain't gonna review.
I don't know. We might. I might do a.
Here's our review of chess.
Hey, we're doing.
You never heard of it?
Well, it's that time of year again. We're talking about video games, and the hottest new video game, Chessmaster 3000. Now available on Windows 95. Can you beat a Russian robot in fucking Chessmaster? God, I remember the fucking ads that used to come out in Game Pro and all that, and they had that fucking... I know you remember, but I had that the Chessmaster.
It looks so intense.
It looked like a fucking wizard.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have what it takes to be the Chessmaster? And I'm like, Jesus, shit. You just make it sound like... can you pull a sword out and slay a dragon and win the war? No! beat this elderly man in chess. He's Russian. He speaks no English. But he speaks chess, god damn it.
He does speak chess well.
But I can't say nothing because I suck awfully bad at chess. That's my review of it. I suck at it, therefore, to me it sucks.
I'm not a big fan of chess.
I'll stomp that ass some checkers, though, all day long. King me, motherfucker. Now, that's a true King's game.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been big on chess, and I remember trying to like it, and as a kid, I was like, I'd rather play, like, Pokemon or Magic.
When we get, we'll be doing those sub-episodes where it's getting close to Halloween. We'll have our horror game episodes and all that. When we get into some, like, just, maybe, when we do the games you would find in a Turkish prison series, like we'll do a review of Chessmaster 3000 right there next to Faceball. You remember Faceball?
Vaguely.
That game that was out for fucking everything. It was you just go through a maze and shoot smiley faces.
Yeah.
I thought they called that I got fired on the wrong day of the week office simulator. Like falling down the video game.
Order now, and you get included a free copy of the Maze screensaver.
Oh boy!
See if you can spot the rat.
Dude, that sounds like that fucking shitty Slappy console they released. Like, comes with a winning 3 games, Minesweeper, 3D pipe screensaver, and solitaire.
Unique 3-way D-pad.
What was the Cuck Vision? They're the
Yeah, cuckold vision.
Oh, that's something I haven't got to say in 3 years. Cuckolding. Fuck my wife. Cuckolding. That's been a while.
Could you use it in a sentence? Cuckolding. Fuck my wife. Cuckolding.
Can I get a origin to cuckle from the word cuckapence? Shit, I don't know. Greek. Cuckapence. He laid her by the river and committed her to Cuckapence. That is absolutely incorrect. It's pretty nice though to be able to. We'll have to get some guy. I wish Duncan would come on back in time.
Yeah, needed to give him a good firing.
He got fired throughout the annals of time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of connections with the word fire and fired to the annals of time.
Yeah.
Funny how things like that happen.
The annals of time, if you were.
Yes.
Will.
Crammed full of
meat.
Yeah, couldn't really think of anything else there for a second. I got a game I'm going to talk about next week.
Okay, cool.
Or like I literally just got this game a week ago and I haven't finished. I think it's called fuck. Nah, that ain't
I haven't heard of that game. Is it one of those hentai games? Well, fuck.
Dating simulator. Thank you very much.
Don't talk about my waifu.
No, it's like that game Slain I got on PS4. I want to say maybe like it's the same people. My buddy like Peter Valferris, that's the name of it. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's some big long-haired air guitar playing dude. You got a sword and a gun and like a major blaster, and it like your blaster operates off energy. And I've been playing it. It's got like a heavy metal soundtrack. It's 2D, 3D side scrolling, ultra goddamn gory. I'll probably be finished with it by next week. I'm about halfway through it.
Okay, cool.
So.
I'll have played something. Lately, all I've mainly been playing is Robotron and Joust.
This is Robotron. I love Joust though too. I wish that Joust pinball would have fucking worked.
Oh,
that's the only time I'd ever seen that.
Yeah,
myself.
they had a one-on-one like
Head-to-head?
head pinball machine, the joust, and it was not operational at the time.
We might have to make a trip back up there later on next year or something. Maybe they'll have something like that. Or maybe they'll just have something like that, Southern Fried.
Yeah.
Because if they cancel Southern Fried next year...
I'm canceling my life.
Yeah, buddy. Slossbergs all the way around.
The call of the void has been strong this year.
Yes, it has.
It's been singing so sweetly.
It's like a siren in the distance.
Yeah. Never quite get it out of your head. Just it's always there.
Never. Now, this Tonight Served is pretty much just like a catch-up episode. I'm glad that we're back.
Yeah, we'll bring the mustard episode next week.
Yeah, we'll actually talk about video games. So, according to earlier, if we come out of retirement or out of the time warp to not save time by talking about video games, we failed.
Well, yeah. We
Pinball, still, I mean, it ain't somebody's like, it's not a video game, you fuck. I'm like, no shit, but...
It has video on it.
It's entertaining. We played Super Mario World in the room quite a bit.
We did.
And played some fucking Star World, some warps.
Yeah.
So there's some video games.
Yeah. Hey, whatever. It's not the Good Ole Gamers video game podcast.
That's
It's
true.
retro games.
Yep.
Pinball, board games are
games,
retro.
period. Yep. It's good to be back.
Yeah.
So are we.
I think we're about done here. You want to listen to some music?
Yeah.
All right. So this little ditty's from a game I like on Steam called Ubermosh. It's not retro, but it's a retro-based, fast-paced, almost twin-stick shooter type game. It's very fucking hard and brutal. The goal is basically like to live a minute and kill
shit.
everything. Yeah. Really. I don't know. How would you describe that preview you heard there? You're better with music genres than I am.
Well, honestly, I just said it sounded kind of like a White Zombie song.
Yeah, it's
kind of like a grungy,
grungy,
industrial.
Yeah,
kind of.
Well, here it is. It's not chiptune by any means.
You know, it's not throb zombie.
Yeah. So. All right, here we go. It might be too loud at the start, but I'll adjust it.
It's okay. If it's too loud, you're too old.
Kind of reminds me of Road Rash.
Yeah, it does. You ever hear that electronic band KMFDM?
I think so. Yeah.
Kind of got a vibe like that too.
That game has a lot of music similar to that. There's another one, I can't think of the name of it because there's all weird names to all these. But all these songs are like 2 minutes tops because I think it's 90 seconds you last in the game. So obviously there's no point in making long songs.
That's intense.
It's a very fast-paced game. It's one that you'll jump in, you'll die in 30 seconds, you just click a button, try it again, Just try over and over. Not only to survive, but to get high scores. And there's all these challenges like win with only the swords and win with only your one gun or shit like that.
That's awesome.
Or win with one life, that kind of thing. Because you do get like instant respawns like 4 or 5 of them normally. It's pretty sweet. Ubermosh is the game. I would recommend it to anybody.
I made a note of it.
Definitely a mouse and keyboard game. I guess you could do twin stick with a controller. I don't know. Mouse and keyboard's the way to go for that because you need some precision shooting on it.
Oh, yeah. It kind of makes me like, what's the view of it?
Top down, isometric.
Like Smash TV?
Yes.
That's kind of what I thought about this whole time you described it as like Smash TV.
Yeah. It's very bloody, all kinds of funky aliens you're shooting.
Fucking right.
Guns all feel really solid. Everything dies in one hit. The best gun in the game is this basically a big ass shotgun.
Just be able to mow down multiple things at once.
One of my favorite strategies was basically find a corner and set in it and just blast bullets out the few places aliens can come at you from, because they come at you from all sides of the screen normally, and so you limit where they can spawn at you basically. So you're in that corner and you can shoot the other two sides. Still has its drawbacks because they shoot back at you too. You got to be able to move around some.
Yeah,
but it's fast, fun. I think it's like 50 cents. It's cheap as fuck.
Oh yeah, that's there was a strategy on the Prairie King, I think's the name of the shooting game on Stardew Valley, and they kind of come at you in waves like that. And I figured out get the three burst spray and stand in the corner, and you could do the most.
Ubermosh is normally 99 cents, but that is now 49 cents on
Holy
Steam.
Shit!
So if you know you're rich and you can afford such luxuries, you might want to spring for this. And you don't need an amazing PC to play it. It's pixel art type shit.
I might have buy 15 copies and bless everybody at Christmas with something.
There you go. They think you're goddamn Jeff Bezos.
No shit. Can I have one more crumb of Ubermosh, sir? No. Oh, it's like Ebenezer Scrooge. Well,
I think we're about done. Thanks for sticking with us, fellas.
Yeah, it's been a long, wild ride, and
if you're a new listener, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
very disappointing. I know.
It'll only get better though. It's gonna take us a minute to get back into our usual. Well, maybe not. I mean, it kind of feels like for old time's sake tonight, you know. We'll be back next week though. With more bullshit to talk about, I guess. Mm-hmm. And until then, game over, man.
Game over.
Please don't go. The drones need you. They look up to you.